So last year I did a video on building Swansea using only Welsh players. Well, today we're rebuilding another Welsh team. Cardiff City are very hot and cold in the Championship this season, as today we're taking over the Bluebirds and making it better using only Welsh players. The objectives are simple for this one. We can only sign Welsh players and we have to sell everyone who's not Welsh. And of course we've got to win the UCL, but the twist here is we could try and beat the Swansea save. And do you guys want kits like this one, or even this one? If you do, make sure to check out Soccer Deal Shop, link in the description. Cheap and affordable replica kits, and if you use MWS in the promo code checkout, you get yourselves 10% off. As I believe it took us around 5 or 6 seasons, as it's not a direct objective, it'd just be fun to try and beat what we did last time. Then again, that time we did wonders, and this team, well, it doesn't really start well. I mean, we've got Aaron Ramsey, who should be clear as one of the best Welsh players, but apart from him, it doesn't look like we have many. There's Isaac Davis, actually, right? He's a player we can bring back, out on loan at Cardiff. Get back over here, Davies. And then the rest of them aren't really cracking. There's Eli King, there's Tom Davies, and Oliver Debham. Screw it, I did bring back Eli King from his loan. I feel like he could be a good centre-back, as this is the team that we've built. We've got the Colwills in here. This Colwill in particular, I feel will be a big player sitting behind Davies and in front of Aaron Ramsey. As it goes without saying, everyone not Welsh is on that transfer list, as we have 11 million. Not bad for Cardiff City, and that is without selling players, as also we've got Rob Edwards as manager. He's a good Welsh manager. And just like before, we're gonna rely on youth players. As one player I was thinking about for the wing, we did have him in the Swansea save, but he is an ex-Cardiff City player, Harry Wilson. In our academy, though, we've got Curtis Wilson. I mean, he's getting straight promoted. We're gonna get some of these lads out on loan. The likes of Humphreys, the likes of Ryan James. Is he related to Dan James? As I believe for Season 1. We're going to sign 3 players, starting off with a man that of course is familiar and I have just mentioned. Welcome to Cardiff City, or welcome back, Harry Wilson. He joins from Fulham for almost 7 mil. But he isn't going to be the only Welshman, as the second one right here is James Lawrence, an old player from Germany. But of course he is Welsh nationality, as the next player is, and he's from in our league. We've gone ahead and stole Niall Huggins from Sunderland. He's a player I think we'll get a little bit out of, as so far so good. I think signings might be over though. Just depends if we get some offers in, as we haven't had many transfer offers. I think we've sold Robinson the striker, and that is about it. And, well, we have made a spot of money. £3 million, but again, not enough to spend for me. I believe with the young team we have, we can go straight into Sunderland, where we just bought Niall Huggins from, as we just aim to stay up. That's right, not aiming too high with the team we have right there, as that's all we want to do. Get through the season with young players, but to be fair, not a great start, as we are hammered by Sunderland. And so far, you know, it doesn't seem to be playing every player, but we've got a bit of improvement. The likes of Huggins and Colwill and Davis, the players we want growing, and also Harry Wilson. He is 26-year-old now, but I went and bought him as my first high money signing, because I want him here all saved if we can last that long. If he doesn't retire by then, as he's got 9 goals and 5 assists so far. As in the league, we are 14th on my day. So I did just say survival, but I expected a bit better. Expected a little bit better, a little bit more of a push towards 10th, 11th. That tells me we've got to spend money. And with the 3 million that you saw we had before we went into halfway through, we're gonna sign 2 players. The first one is this man from Sheffield United, who goes by the name of Reece Norrington Davis, who we're gonna put at left back, and we will move Huggins across to right. And the other one, well, he's one we signed in our Swansea save, and I remember not getting the most out of it. But Charlie Savage from Reading for 1.3 million, I feel, is a steal, and we've got to get right this time. And that's a team with a much bigger Welsh spine. And yes, the ratings have gone up as we are at the end of the season, where this is what we look like. We've got some players to sell, like Manolis Siopis, who has submitted a transfer request, although he's already on the transfer list. Aaron Ramsey submitted one as well. Don't really know what to think about that because he's a player that's staying here. I will make sure of it for one more season anyway. Hopefully he stays around, as Harry Wilson's one will be keeping around with 16 goals. Brilliant from him, but it wasn't enough to really, well, propel us up the table. I guess it was enough just to save us. As 20 defeats you just saw, that is not good enough for Cardiff City. We once were a Premier League team, and once was a FA Cup team. Beaten by Borough in that one, as in the Carabao Cup, we didn't even make it past the round 1 stage, where we were beaten by Preston. Absolutely shocking. But with the cusp of an 80 rated player, with Davies, Corwell and Savage, I have hope for a future success. As let's hope Season 2 has a bit more money in store for us. And another thing, can we build a full Welsh side? Well, I'll tell you what we need to do that. We need to sign a goalkeeper, we need to sign a centre-back, also a winger, and probably a Ramsey replacement, because he will retire this year. Also, a lot of other players still to sell, as the budget, 13 million before contracts and before seeing our youth academy. As this is this year's, and to be fair, the best players are the players we got last year. Ryan James, Michael Edwards, and I mean Harry Gilliam has just come. But honestly, I think they're better off staying in our academy as the players we've got this year. Wilson, Howell, and Humphreys all returned from loan deals and did quite well. They'll get their places on our bench, as it's a lot of these ones that do need selling, and I cannot wait to receive some money from them. But let's spend the money we've already got, as signings is what we need to happen this year, and starting off with a free agent, something I'm never against in these difficult rebuilds, so welcome Tommy Pierce. Almost called him Tommy then, and he's a centre-back, but we still have a centre-back to come. But it ain't this man, another free agent, Alan Pugh. He's our goalkeeper, and at the age of 18, he's actually the same rating already as Alnwick, so he goes straight in the team, and that looks good, but still, we need more Welsh players. As here's a midfielder that I probably didn't see coming. We signed him at Swansea, and we got him late in the save, but with Charlie Savage, can Dylan Levitt have an impact? Ex-Manchester United. But this man, like Harry Wilson, is ex-Cardiff. I think anyway. Hopefully I haven't got it wrong. And Ben Davies, welcome. I mean, when you look it up, the only stats it shows is his Tottenham career, as this man's had a career at Rangers. Welcome to one of the most prevalent youngsters I've ever known in this game, Ravi Matondo. At 23, he's still got a bit of potential in the tank, and that team looks so good and so Welsh, as we've got 2 youth players in our attack. This is quite good, as hopefully this year they can be good in the league, as we start with Burnley at Turf Moor. And they've got a Welsh player in Roberts at right back. We've got Huggins, who should be the better, as it's a 1-1 draw to start off our second season in the Championship off. But hey, one thing I want to say, although a good result, we've got to get a move on, as if we don't go up this season in the Championship, it might be difficult to beat our Swansea record. And we should be a lot better, a lot better. A 1-1 draw with Burnley and a very solid team. I believe Levitt and Norrington Davis are the only players that really haven't had any growth. I don't know why. As our 2 youth players though, Pugh and Pierce, or young players, free agents, are perfect. Perfect in rating, however, because in the league, we are still not good enough. We are a goal ahead of rival Swansea, and they won't have a good team. A good team like us. However, we are still within reach of the playoffs. You can see 5 points separates us and Blackburn Rovers. And, well, we're keeping the dream alive. Us Cardiff City have got into those playoffs somehow. I thought we were done. I thought it was over, but 6th position, so we did just scrape in. Also a big shocker for me, Burnley in 11th. I thought they'd be up there as the teams in the playoffs. Norwich, West Brom, Coventry and us. I'm not being big-headed here, hopefully, but I think we could win that. I mean, come on, out of all the playoffs you see, that is the most winnable one, as we didn't win in the FA Cup, and we didn't win in the Carabao Cup. We were beaten by Gary Monk's Cambridge. Quite embarrassing, that. Quite embarrassing, as for some reason Pew has not been playing. Oh, because Horvath's gone up a rating, so I bet when he went to 73, he took over, as we've still got a team good enough to go again. Come on, lads, win these playoffs. Just do it for all the beautiful Cardiff fans. If we do go up, we could beat the Swansea record, winning the Champions League with Welsh players, as we've won our first playoff game. Very, very nice. We were dominated in that game. As second leg, we were dominated in that one, but we still came out victorious. As there's one game to go, and we've done it. I don't know why I'm so excited. I think it's because we've been dominated in every game, but Harry Wilson and Howell see us to the Prem, as we're here in the Premier League. And I tell you what, I think the front four, I want to change no more. I honestly like all four of those players. Same with Charlie Savage. The best place to strengthen is actually the bench. I mean, Pew is kind of weak, but we've got to remember, just like James Trafford, he's a very young keeper in the Prem, and that'll only improve him. And the other players like Ben Davies retiring at the end of the year, he's our improvement, as Academy's kind of, yeah, just non-existent. We don't need that. But we do need this. 49 million to get going straight away, as we aim to sign some decent Welsh players. As we've got a lot of players here, a lot of players to come in, and we'll go with the best last. Just that way around. As the first backup player, Tyler Roberts. Nothing much more to say about Tyler Roberts. However, the next one, a player I did give some stick in my Charlton save. Terry Taylor, just because he wasn't very good at my club Grimsby when he was on loan as Ed Turns. He's on loan at Crewe in real life, as at Lincoln in real life, Joe Taylor. Ripped Grimsby a new one in real life, but the main player, Ethan Ampadu, which has torn me really. Do we play him in centre mid instead of Levitt, or moving back instead of Davis? At the moment, I am leaning towards centre back. Just him and Pierce can grow exponentially. Or we could do that for the start of the season, swap them around, and let's go straight into a game. Nothing more to really do. We could spend 22 million, but I want to save that up and get a really good player. As for now, there's no good regens, no good anything on the market, as we start with Everton. And it's Tom Pugh, the man I'm worried about, the goalkeeper, as we lose 2-1. Kind of expected it, but one thing I'm going to do before we start this season is release Horvath. That is to make sure Pugh plays, as without further ado, let's see how he does for the remainder of the year. And I'm more worried about our goalkeeper than I am our league position. We're in 18th. And a bigger surprise to me, though, is not just us, but the teams we are joined with. There's Aston Villa down here. Now, I think they'll survive. And Bournemouth, who, to be fair, kind of look gone. But we look gone, especially in fitness, as our team's ratings have got higher, just not our performances. I mean, I'm so worried about Pugh, but he's 77 rated. He's not one of the players we should be worried about. Same with Ethan Ampadu, who submitted a transfer request but played very well so far in this season. And end of the year, I'm not checking the league so far, but we're in the FA Cup final, which could be Europa League football for our Welshmen. As speaking of, let's go see how they're doing. Will this team stay in the league? Because looking at it, we've got some very good players. It's time for Pearson on the bench to step in ahead of Davis, as that's one change for sure. As for Shaw as well, like I said before, not changing any of our four attackers, all over 80 rated. And Harry Wilson now. Harry Wilson, Liverpool reject, 87 rated. His stats aren't even the greatest, but he is at the top, as Ampadu's been overtaken by Isaac Davis, or Davies. He's doing very, very well, scoring 17 goals and we had 4 players in over 10. Joe Taylor on the bench was on that sheet, I'm pretty sure, as his team Luton go down, or ex-team alongside Brentford, as I told you Villa would survive, and we survived comfortably. Unfortunately though, we can only draw with our Swansea City save now. We didn't get UCL this year, and in order to draw, we need to win the FA Cup, which we lose on penalties. Oh my days. As actually, no, I'm wrong. We can draw with the Swansea save if we get UCL and then win it next year, as that's going to be hard. And we've got 44 million to try and make our job easier. We can only spend that on a Welsh lad. So to the scouting filters, I've got it on attackers. We're not going to look for attackers. We're going to look for defence and midfield. As I'm not even joking, there's only one improvement that we can make, and that is Luke Harris from Olympique Lyonnais. So I've put a bid in to see if we can get our man and keep on cooking. As yes, we've got our man. He's walking in the training ground, but one thing I want to point out right now is I know we're signing players we've had before at Swansea, but I'm trying to sign players that didn't really work out there. And as you can kind of see, well, you can't really see because of the players on international duty, but it's Harris and Savage in the midfield. We had both of them at Swansea on our bench. Now here at Cardiff, they're going to excel. As excel's what we've got to do. And we start off this year with a game against Liverpool. And that reminds me of a player. I mean, it's a player we've had before, but Nico Williams is, oh my days. We've beaten the Redmen. After being dominated, it's Harris with a goal, a debut goal, alongside Wilson and Davies. Kolo Muani for them, and I'm guessing that's Alexi Garcia, but I do not care who it is. We've won our opening game. As we can do this, we can beat the Swansea safe if we can just stay in the places we are in right now. As Cardiff City are in the UCL spots, and I don't know what's happened, but Harris is playing centre mid. That's very nice, as I don't know why there's a sub thing on Matondo. Please take that off. There we go, fix that. An injury to Norrington Davis, a player not improving, and he's to improve next year. Same with Tony Pearce. Please, mate, hurry up. You're 22-year-old, only 79 rated. Still potential to go in him, though, as looking at our scorers in 22 games, Harry Wilson's got 22 goals. And we could have actually beaten the Swansea save by winning the league. But we don't, we come second, and it's UCL football, but how have we done that with only 70 points? Unbelievable if you ask me. I don't know how we've just pulled off that one, as we lost in the cup to Spurs. Not very good. Not the cup run we had last year, as also in the Carabao, beaten by Middlesbrough. And I can't believe UCL football. I can't believe it. As Huggins, come on, mate. You should be okay. As there we go, knocked him back to right back from right wing back. As speaking of wing backs, Norrington Davis, you go. Next season, of course, as he's got a 1-month contract left. I'm going to sign that up, and then I'm going to try and flog him. As players not to flog, though, are Harry Wilson, almost 90 rated, and Ruben Colwill amongst the goals. And Norrington Davis has gone up to 80 rated, so maybe we keep him here. But I definitely want to replace him and also get more bench players. As if we are to win the UCL, we're gonna have to spend that 123 million. Now, where has that come from? Because when we've been second in the league before, we've never got that much. Just a bloody shame though, isn't it? When we get the money, we can only sign Welsh players. And there's no way we find a Welsh player good enough. So without further ado, let's get scouting. Far and wide is what we've got to scout, but a backup player first. One we've had before, Chen Campbell, and also an ex-Liverpool fullback, Owen Beck, and no, it isn't Nico Williams, who you probably thought it was after hearing Liverpool reject as Adam Davis, backup keeper, and final one of the free agents. I'm going to let this man walk in, because honestly, he's a god. Harry Clifton, Grimsby's finest. As yes, he counts as a Welsh player, as if I scroll down, you can see he's Welsh. Born and bred in Grimsby still, though, and he's off on the bench for our UCL Cup run. But finally, after our spending spree, the final one is a Liverpool reject again. And this time it is the man who you probably expected, Neco Williams. Nico or Neco, I call him both, as I'll show you. He replaces Davies. No need to spend all the money, as that's us done. We've got our Welsh team for the UCL. But first, starting off with Aston Villa, can we get a UCL spot for next year as well? If we don't win it, of course, this year. Or could we win the league in this 4th season? 5th or 4th, whatever it is, as it's only a draw with Villa to start off with. As that's not too positive, however, our group, well, is positive the word as well? Because Bayern Munich, Sporting and Athens, all top clubs from their respective leagues. Yes, and I don't know how we're going to get on in that group, as in the league. We're getting on just fine. Not really in a title charge, I must say, but alongside Newcastle and Leeds in the UCL spots. Now that is surprising, and still in the FA Cup. Of course, with Southampton. I mean, the FA Cup hasn't even started yet, so that's why we're still in it, as we were beaten in the Carabao. And I'm checking them halfway through, as I want to see our UCL stages. We've got PSG, and we were rewarded with them after winning our group. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? Well, it does a little bit, because Sporting got Man City, and that's from finishing second. We had the group of death, and now we've got the team of death. PSG, come on, can we beat that team? I mean, it's looking very good, but come on, Welsh pride. Do it for your country. Well, that's over very quick, isn't it? Put to the sword. Oh my days. I mean, we do a lot better back at home at the Cardiff City Stadium, with Davies scoring and Sierra getting the other, but we were hammered when I'm wearing the PSG kit. And at least we've ended the season back inside of the Champions League, places where we belong, so we will get a crack at it next year. But what did the squad that failed truly look like? I mean, I kind of took it for granted that we should lose to PSG. However, our team is good. We've got a 92 Wilson and a 91 Pugh, with a couple of 89s, 87s, 86. Next year, we're hoping this squad can give it a good go. And one other side quest that I want to do is please reach the UCL final and get Harry Clifton on that pitch. And season number 6 or season number 5, whatever it is, we've got 144 million with Cardiff City, and I'm gonna go out there, find the best Welsh players and see if we actually need to sign them. As, believe it or not, these players here are the best players that Wales has to offer. Now, I know I signed him at Swansea City, but Brennan Johnson, literally the only one I'm going to sign, as he walks into the club from Tottenham Hotspur for almost 40 million. Still though, that doesn't touch the sides of the amount of money we've got, and he doesn't touch the team as we're going with what we already have. I mean, Pearce is up to scratch, Pugh definitely is, and Savage, although one of the lowest, alongside Nico/Neco Williams, I think we're all fine, and we are ready for this season. I fancy this Champions League, and I also fancy this Premier League with the start that we have. Jumping head into this, and also an interesting thing, this is kind of like a Gareth Bale derby. From Cardiff, but came through at the Saints, and we beat the Saints. Get in there, Bluebirds! As speaking of the beautiful Bluebird creature, we need to fly like it through that group. And yes, before anyone points it out, I did see them. The pesky Porto were in our group. As did we make it out alive with them in it. We did, but I tell you what, wow. They made it very difficult for us. But as we back out, we have Real Sociedad. Maybe coming second in that group wasn't a bad thing, as we're 7th in the league. And the reason I give that a mini fist bump is because when we're lower, we usually do better in Europe. Don't know what it is. As looking at the team, I mean, I don't know how we've got a 90 rated Ethan Ampadu, but we do. I mean, I've said plenty of times before, potential goes crazy, and I love the game for it. As we'll revisit the ratings in full come end of the season, as we've got business to do. Come on, Cardiff. We beat Sociedad, a bit of a tired team, and only a draw. But that's only one leg. A second leg, we go through thanks to Wilson. That's a big win. And on to Bayer Leverkusen, liking this look. No PSG so far. As let's just ignore that minor voice break. Pierce now our captain as we draw 1-1. And that's kind of good. Still we need to beat them, and penalty kicks send us to the semis. Losing my breath right there as the potential banana skin is avoided. Hope I'm doing good when proud beating Bayer, and here we go, Bayern Munich. From Bayer to Bayern, and Isaac Davis should be similarly rated to Harry Kane as he beats him leg 1, and leg 2 we have hammered Bayern Munich 4-1. And this is the team that did that hammering. I mean, 94 rated, 94 Wilson. I mean, look at his stats. They are almost all at 90. What a player. And what a team. 4 90s and a handful of 88s as our best player. Of course it was Wilson. 32 goals, which only has us sitting 7th in the Prem Conference next year. If, of course, we fail to win the UCL, as our final game will be Borussia Dortmund. And it's actually getting weird now. I mean, I've said I like it, but another game at Benfica's stadium. As if you've watched this channel for ages. 1, I appreciate you, and 2, you'll know we play here a lot. But in the little finals we've lost, we've never lost a final at this ground, and I hope I'm not jinxing it. Can we get an early goal here? Good save, Coble. I mean, Davis with the shot as well. One of the 90 rateds who should carry us. You can see there's only one player pressing, and that is Matondo, who's playing against an ex-rival. He did play for Schalke, a club in trouble, as, oh my days, we were in trouble. Di Andrea, very, very close. And actually, too close, if you ask me, as we need to get a pass in the middle. Ampadu, can we try and break the deadlock here? No, we can't, because we lose the ball, but referee, that was a clean as day challenge. The hand in the box, the obvious good tackle. I feel like the referees are a little bit against us, as that was close as well. We should be 1-0 down, and just keep them out, lads. Just keep pressing them out. Like a shirt on an ironing board. We need to press, and that was very close from Mr. Dahl. Too close for comfort, actually, as we need to get a move on and pass that around. That's a good move. Onto Ruben Colwill. Should be a goal. Come on. He should have scored, and at least we've got deliveries. Wilson on the corner kick. Not beating his first man, though, and Charlie Savage onto Ampadu. Oh, my days. Ampadu. Not like this. Not like this, because Adeyemi is through, and he's tried to chip Pew. Big save from the keeper, as the biggest chance of the first half is a wasted one, and we are lucky to be at 0-0 still. Did not like how close that was. Did not like it at all. For all our dominance, Adeyemi is a threat, and the referee's a threat. We can't forget that, as Charlie Savage reminded me of that moment, running down the wing and getting a ball into Wilson. Harry Wilson, that's got to be handball, referee. Is it inside the box? Show the replay again, as I think that's inside. And are we going to get a penalty? Or a free kick? A penalty! Get in there! Come on, Colwill, don't let us down. As I need to get very calm. Ruben Colwill to smash it home, top bins. And there we go. Adeyemi who? Referee who? As he celebrates by jumping on the advertising boards. And what a player. Been here since day one. Finally, the ref gives something fair. And finally, we score. Coble rooted to the spot. And we're rooted to 1-0. And maybe that's going to come back to bite me. Maybe I will regret saying Adeyemi who? But still we're on a counter. As could we get another goal? Harry Wilson here, you know. And he goes from the edge of the box. That man is 94 rated. As that horrible miss from one of our midfielders reminds me one of our midfielders, Clifton, still sitting on that bench. Sorry to the Grimsby lad, but I might not get him on here because we need our best team still being just 1-0 up. It's a very difficult final, and having a 70 rated player come on would be a bit bad, as Wilson with the cross. Less of that, please. No fancy Trevella footwork, as Huggins, again, hugging the touchline and getting the ball down to Colwill. He's coming out wide more than Wilson, who's allowed to invert inside. Good shot right there, but the corner wasn't so good. Robbie Matondo, though, another shot wasted. For some high-rated players, our shooting's not been good, but can we see it out? Header one. Referee, please blow that whistle. As there we go. We just took an extra pass, and with that pass, Cardiff City are UCL champions. That's right, using all Welsh players, Tony Pearce will lift that trophy. Blue and white ribbons, second best colours. As this is the second time round I've built a team using just Welsh players as Newport fans, Wrexham fans. Do you want to see it? Comment down below if you do, and of course, if you have any other suggestions, comment them down below, and they could be the next video.